Hey guys, welcome back to Teal House Farm. I'm getting ready to go do farm tours this morning. I thought I'd bring you along because we're going to check out our baby goat. Well, she's not really a baby, our little goat who had that injury a while back. I'll link that video below. Let's see how she's doing because it's been like a week and a half since we had taken her to the vet, and she's done her full course of medicine and had rest. So really hoping it's 100% cleared up. I actually haven't looked at her in a couple of days. Sam has been home for a few days, so he's been doing the farm chores for me. And so it's kind of my first time going out and seeing her. I'm assuming she's better or he would have said something, but I'm gonna go see with my own eyes, see what's going on. We need to get a couple things done real quick, trying to get a bunch of things done before the kids wake up, because then it really kind of slows things down, if you know what I mean. But we'll get breakfast started, get a couple things done, get out there and check out that goat, and then hopefully we can get that all done before everybody is up.
Okay, first things first, I canned some of this chicken soup. I'll link the video below on how to do it, but I've been having it sit on my counter for several days. I just need to put it away. It's a challenge because, well, I like to can and my pantry doesn't have any space left. So we do some finagling, we get it all worked in there and we get it all cleared off the counter. Now that the counter's clear, let's get the Instapot out and we're gonna make some hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. So we're gonna put a cup of water in and then we're gonna put our eggs on the bottom there. It's okay if you don't have a rack. I don't have a rack in this Instapot, and it hard boils the eggs just fine and it does it pretty quick. So we're gonna get this set up so it's doing its job while we're outside checking on the goat. Lid on, and it's just on manual for 5 minutes. It does take a few minutes to get up to pressure, so that turned into more like 10 minutes. So that'll give us just enough time outside. Next up, we gotta feed the dog because she's hungry. And we get our boots on, and we're gonna head out to the barn.
They are already calling for me. Came outside, they're ready for breakfast. Hey, be patient. It's coming. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you some thoughts that we've learned. If you've ever considered keeping some goats or sheep, can you raise goats and sheep 100% on pasture? Absolutely can't. So then why would we feed them grain in the morning? Isn't it more expensive? You're right, it is. But you know what grain is? It's less expensive than a goat that gets out of the fence and has absolutely no motivation to come back to you. So the grain is a bribe. They get grain every morning. And it also helps. Every once in a while, you'll have a sheep or a goat get out. And if they hear that grain jingle, they're going to come running right back. If you don't have that motivation, it's you chasing down a very fast animal, which depending how fast you are, you may not be able to catch them. So we use the grain more as a security, almost like a leash to keep them close than anything else. They don't get a whole lot. I have this bag here. I use this NutriPack. It's a multi-species feed. I don't know if you can see that. It costs me, it's $11 for this bag. This bag lasts almost 3 weeks. It's not organic or non-GMO. They just get a scoop. It's just like given a piece of candy, basically. So this is just motivation that they never ever want to leave, and if they ever do find themselves on the other side of the fence, they're very motivated to come back to me. All right, little sheep and goats. There's our little lady. That actually looks really good. She's not puffy at all anymore. She's putting weight on it back there. My only concern is she did get a little bit skinny. This is a meat goat, but does not look like a meat goat. She did get a little bit skinny, but I'm gonna guess she's gonna catch up. She had a couple weeks where she really didn't go far outside the barn. So didn't have as many options for grazing, so I'm gonna keep a good eye on her. But she generally seems to be doing better. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes and watch her outside though. Make sure when they're walking around outside that she's keeping up okay and still not limping a lot, but she does look a lot better. Let's take care of the other animals real quick.
You always feed the cats first on the list. They will follow you all around the farm waiting for their breakfast. We don't feed them a whole lot. We give them just enough to keep them around, and they do a great job hunting for mice and moles actually around our property, and so it's a beneficial relationship. The negative is they knock absolutely everything over in the barn, which is why our barn is such a mess. If it's anything they can tip over or knock off a shelf, they're gonna do it, and so everything ends up on the floor and and it's pretty frustrating, but we'll keep them around because they're real good at catching those mice. Pop in real quick to check on the Instapot. It's finally up to pressure. Still got 5 minutes left, so let's keep going with our chores. Lexi's all done with her breakfast, so she's gonna come help me too. Next up, we're gonna turn on the hose and we're gonna go ahead and get some water for our ducks, geese, and chickens out here in this main chicken pasture. Always unplug that fence before you go in there. It's a lesson you learn once, folks. And over our Premier One fence, if you're interested in using Premier One products for your farm, we do have a video on this. We don't love them as much as everybody does, but they work pretty good for the chickens. I'll link it below. Go ahead and rinse the bowls out and refill them. I'd love to have a tub for them to actually splash around in, like a big pool. Just don't really have the time to set that up right now. It would need to be something that can self-drain because I can't tip it over, it'd be way too heavy. So that's a little bit of a project. We have to install some sort of plug. We don't need to give them any feed because this is an automatic feeder. Excuse all that feed on the outside. We actually dumped it and cleaned it out yesterday. So usually it doesn't have feed all around it. Now we're gonna water the garden. And of course, it's not a morning on the farm if you don't kink your hose. So we'll get that reset so that we can actually water the garden. And the raised garden beds did pretty well for the early spring. So this one, I've actually already harvested all the lettuce. So I cleared it out and I planted some bush beans. So we're gonna try those in the raised bed and see how we like them. And then we're gonna head on over, turn this hose back off and run in to make sure we haven't forgotten about our eggs. And perfect. We're gonna turn the pot off and send it to venting and let it vent completely. And then we're gonna head out real quick while that vents and do our last farm tour, which is feeding our chicks that are in this outdoor brooder house. They're getting huge. They're really ready to go on pasture. That's my big goal for next week, to get them out. They are all set. They had plenty of feed and water, so we'll just lock them back in so nothing gets them. Our goat still doesn't want to come out and walk for me, so we'll go back in and have breakfast and come check later. The eggs are ready, so we're going to go ahead, wash our hands real good, and make a bowl of ice water to plop them in so they cool down. Nobody wants to burn their tongue on a hard-boiled egg first thing in the morning. And out they go into the bowl.
You're not going to walk for me, huh? We'll just come back later. Being stubborn. How's it going? Alright, so she is walking pretty good. As soon as I pull the camera out, she just stops and stares at me. So apparently she just likes her picture taken. But I will tell you, she looks much better now. Thankful that she seems to be doing better. And now we just got to work on getting some more meat on her bones. So I think what I'm going to do here is this weekend, I'm going to try to open up this back pasture, which is all wooded. It's got lots of things goats like. Just need to do a little bit of fence fixing to do that. But I think that'll really help get her nice and fat again, because it'll be plenty of things that she loves to eat. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.